All right, guys. All right, James, we're live. James, I'm live. Hopefully we got audio. Someone want to check on the Michigan Motocross Facebook so we can get this.
Michigan Motocross?
Yes, the Michigan Motocross Facebook. We are live right now. Let's see, I don't have any viewers here. Got my video? You got audio? Hear me fine? Alright. Alright, everybody, we got James Elkins. We're live. District 14, Vice President. Everybody good? We're live on Facebook on the Michigan Motocross page. Come on up here if you got any questions, guys. Alright, James. Looks like we got it. You guys are sharing online just to make sure we get as many viewers as possible. Alright guys, if you want to line up or sit in the hot seat first, we'll get. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand. Come on over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of explain a little bit what I'm trying to do.
You got audio just fine? Audio fine.
Basically, I know it's something that like has never really, the district stuff has always seemed like secret to people. For a lot of years. And so this is my second year as the vice president for the district. I started out motocross guy for the time I was little. And I was a rider rep for motocross for a few years, and then I moved to district as vice president. So I always see a lot of stuff. You know, people want to know what's going on, and it's not just motocross. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like District 14 is not just motocross. We have 10 divisions. 10. So I'm not just the vice president of motocross. It's all 10 divisions. And I know, like I said, for the last decade, things have been a little bit more hush-hush. I would rather they're out in the open. Anybody who knows me, I'm a very direct person. Very direct. So I would rather somebody call me and text me, whatever, come to me face to face. I'm very direct. So I just thought this would be a good way. I know it's at a motocross track, even though we have 10 different divisions, but I knew there was going to be a ton of people here this weekend, so I figured we get a lot more people. I see a lot of huge things online, and so I want the face-to-face. I want people to come talk to me. So, yeah, I wish there was more. Absolutely. So, yeah.
And it's easier to sit behind a computer.
Absolutely.
And throw your lays, the blame, and everything else versus being in person. A lot of people are afraid.
Yeah. No, I respect people that do it face-to-face.
And I understand there's some reasons going on, but you have it online. They were given that opportunity.
There's one, and it's not this
Right.
There are no off-road races this weekend. There are no flat track races this weekend. And I know I didn't do a motocross track, but anybody could come or wrote comments on Adam's post or my post or anything.
We didn't get a single question.
Not one. Not one.
Now, one thing I want to ask, James, what is District 14 and what is District 14?
Okay, so District 14 is an offshoot of the AMA. So the AMA is the overall sanctioning body. Did you make an announcement to tell people not to ride their pit bikes and stuff up here right now? That'd be great. Especially since 7 o'clock was pit bike quiet time.
All right, guys.
Another
Pit bike quiet time. We're not having any pit bikes up here, guys. Foot traffic and pedal bikes only.
Yeah, so District 14, so AMA is obviously the parent organization. They're the sanctioning body for most motorsports races in the country, unless it's a non-AMA event. Like I lived out west for 10 years, so RMX series was a non-AMA thing. It was a lot like Moreland's, but just there was like 11 tracks. They were non-AMA. They used race ready and all that stuff. What was that? We're going to be civil today. Yeah. Oh, you will. Okay. All right. If you have a comment, I will stop and you can tell me. Okay. Thank you. So District 14 there's different districts all over the country. There used to be one in Indiana. The tracks kind of all went away. Ohio is coming back. District 12 left for a while and they kind of died out, right, Adam? And they're just kind of coming back. So basically what we are is like an overall, District 14 is like an overall governing body for the divisions. We lay down a base set of rules based upon the AMA rules and give tracks, a sanctioned place with certain standards to hold their races or events. So whatever. We used to have a road division. We said we have hill climb, flat track, ice, air scramble, sprint enduro, I said flat track, ATV hop cross country, ATV motocross, vintage motocross, hill climb. That's all 10. So yeah.
You want to explain the difference between promoter tracks and club tracks real quick?
Yeah. Okay. So club tracks would be club tracks run on a member system where all the members are part of a group that owns a track. They're basically most club track, well, all club tracks are nonprofit organizations. They run for no profit whatsoever. They have to put their money back into the business. But they're not hiring people, so that's the difference between club and promoter. Clubs use all their members. So clubs will run sometimes a split program, like Battle Creek runs a straight program because we have enough people to work. But Polka Dots and Bulldog will run a split program because they have members that want to race. There's kids that want to race, so they run a split. So some members can work in the morning, some members can work in the afternoon. But basically, the club is just a big conglomerate of people, whether it's 30 members, 60 members, whatever, that gets together to run a track, put a facility on, run races. They all have liability in it, they all have a stake in it, and they all make decisions on what happens. It's not one person. Promoters, on the other hand, are a for-profit business, obviously. So promoters are usually a single-owned or a group of people that get together and put things on. Now, the rules for clubs and rules for promoters are the same thing. It just depends on who makes the decisions within the organization itself. Like the club, like if a promoter has 4 owners, they have to all agree. As a club, Dan can tell you from Cadillac, it's 50 members. You got to get everybody to vote. So that's the difference between clubs and promoters.
All right, who wants to go first? Okay,
Okay.
second.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really don't. I don't like the point structure.
Okay.
It's based on, you can win.
For
one
motocross.
series. Yes.
For motocross.
For motocross. You can win the championship, but never win a race.
By showing up.
Right. In today's prices, when you come to a race, I just dropped $500 this weekend. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just a working, you know. But if I don't attend all them races,
Yeah.
my grandson has no chance of winning the points whatsoever.
With the 2 separate series.
Yes, with D14 series.
There's 2 separate D14 series.
We have the state series.
Yeah,
and
you're
the
right,
section,
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
And the D14.
Yeah,
Right.
so
You
obviously-
can win the race, you can win the point series with never winning,
Yeah.
even winning a
Yeah,
race.
absolutely. Depending on the class for sure.
Yeah, and nothing against anybody who can afford to do it.
Yeah.
Bless their heart, you know.
Yeah. But if they race all 22 and you can only race 10.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I get that.
I feel that there should be a rule, your child has to win X amount of races to win the championship.
And I understand where you're coming from with that, but that would be like in professional racing. You said, well, Ryan Dungey didn't win the championship that year because he didn't win a Supercross.
And that's happened in professional racing.
Do you think they could do that?
Would you rather see?
But they're all there every week after week after
I
week.
understand that.
Would you rather
But I
see a
mean,
short series?
nobody's going to race 90 events a year. That's why we put the number at 22.
I just think it's, kid finishes top 5 all year long, wins championship. You can win that.
Yeah. So the reason why we didn't go with all your points count, because people brought that up before. All your points count for every event
Yeah.
you go to. We don't do that. We do it with your best 22 races with a minimum of 10. So if you do the best 22, you have a chance to beat out somebody who races 70 times. There's still that chance. They have to be at least good for 22.
Then my other problem.
Okay.
It has to go with cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
You win this championship. You have to buy your ticket to go to the dinner. You have to pay for dinner. We're not talking cheap money here to take your family to go see your kid get a major award.
Absolutely.
Who's getting this money
Okay.
and where does it go?
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
Adam and I both, Adam works with us on this too. I can lay this
I'm the rider rep for D14 for everything, so
Yeah, all off-road.
all for it.
So each track pays in what is called money into a points fund per entry. That's what goes towards the year end of those. Okay? So I'm not gonna hide numbers. Motocross pays in $1.30 per entry, up to 250 entries, and 90 cents an entry after 250 entries. So that is the money that goes towards the banquet.
Yeah, but we pay for our tickets, which is $50.
Okay.
I just think if you won, there should be a break.
Guys, listen, I'm still answering, okay? So that is the points fund that goes in. So for all of these events, at the end of the year, you have around 30,000 spent. About 30,000.
So you're saying.
For the division, for the
For
motocross division, not district, for motocross division of district, about $30,000 to $35,000. Now, can other venues be explored? Absolutely. So I can tell you that venue, plate of food. The district actually, the motocross division ate some of the cost on the plates of food last year. The plate of food was $50 a person.
And you're stamped.
So, hold on. Now, so we can give you free food, absolutely. But if we pay for the food, where do the awards come from?
But where does the money go that we pay into to attend?
The food.
That's what he's saying.
That's the only
That
thing
pays
that
for the plate of food.
Okay.
That's the only thing that pays for it.
Gotcha.
So, like, the room at Mount Pleasant is free,
Because
they
you're
say
buying
it,
the food.
but you have to pay for all the food, the sound equipment, and all that stuff. So, once, if we were, like I said, if we were to actually pay for the food, there would be no money for awards. Because of, and I'm just being honest, some tracks may not like this, because of the points money.
So is there any?
Yeah.
So, me
That was
personally,
out.
I think the food sucks for the AM banquet.
Correct.
I don't disagree.
So, is there a way to buy a ticket to not? I mean, the ticket goes towards the food, right?
Yeah.
Like, not eating.
Yeah, I think we should explore an option of non-eating, just there you
Maybe,
go,
maybe
awards.
not. I don't know. I just
No,
wanted to
absolutely.
ask.
And that's why I said we're looking at other venues too.
Or
because
could you do like amateur AM and switch it every other year?
One of the reasons why I think they decided to do like the youth and the AM is just not wanting, because we used to do them combined. I don't know if you guys are still in for that.
Our first year was the year that you split.
Okay, so when they were combined,
Yes.
we would start about 5 o'clock, and who knows when.
Right.
Because it was, and so we were thinking about young kids. We really want them in there getting an award at 11:30 at night. And to be honest, we've all been to tracks. What happens when it's about 11, 12 o'clock at night in a casino? Everybody's drinking, there's an open bar. We had fights. We don't want kids to be around that.
No, no.
So that's why we went to the 2 separate ones. Now, if we could find a place and a way to do one combined banquet, that would save a ton of money.
Right.
We're not paying for the food twice. One banquet.
My question also
Yep.
pertaining to that, and it isn't just on the District 14.
Yep.
Doesn't the AMA have some form of, what are they doing for
So the AMA
us?
pays out a subsidy from all the sanctioning money that comes in for the year to the district, and it's divided up between the divisions based on their entries. So I want to say it was motocross this last year from the AMA. Like I think it might have been $3,600. The AMA
It's
gave
2 years
motocross.
ago.
Yeah,
Because
2 years.
there was
ago.
a year behind.
It's a year behind. So I think motocross got around $3,600 for the whole year of all the events
From the AMA.
from the AMA. Now, as a district,
That's terrible.
Now, as a
We
district-
pay $40, they pay $40, they may have 4 kids.
but that doesn't go to the AMA. I think that's where you're confused. It doesn't go to the AMA.
Well, where's my $40 going? I paid it 3 times
track
this
owner.
year because I bought them at the track.
You're talking about the membership.
Yes.
AMA
Oh,
and,
AMA
and
membership.
D14.
Yeah, don't they have some liability
D14
to
membership-
D14 and the districts?
Yeah, so the AMA membership is
$49.
$49 a year.
I paid it 3 times
understand
this
that.
year because of screw
Yeah.
ups.
So basically what AMA does with that is they negotiate discounts on insurance. They lobby in legislature for rules and
Yep.
Because the AMA is not just motocross and competition; it's also off-road trails and
ATVs.
But they pay their.
$49, and how many people in our district race motocross?
absolutely.
That's a lot of money,
about
sir.
3,000.
We are the largest. We're the largest district
Yes.
of the AMA in the country.
Exactly, at $49 a piece.
That's right.
Some of
The murder
these, some
myth
of these
is what I
parents
say.
have 3, 4 children at $49.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
And the family membership is not really a
And
good deal.
it's not District
So-
14.
Because Adam and I have talked about this. The
Yes,
family
the family
membership
membership's $100.
But it's not a good deal.
Only the primary member gets
accrues
accrued.
AMA years.
So I just became an AMA Life member after 25 years. When I started, it was $250 to become a Life member. Now it's $2,500.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So
It isn't
that
District 14.
I know.
no. So
I
this is
understand.
several
I
pay
agree.
grades above everybody. But the
Yeah.
AMA, they do a lot in Congress. I don't know if you guys remember, but a few years ago there was a lead ban in Congress, and all kids' motorcycles and ATVs got banned, and we couldn't sell them. I worked at a dealership at the time.
Yeah.
And the AMA,
So the AMA fights stuff like that.
they fight stuff like that. They got a bunch of snowmobile legislation. Tom Dunn, our legislative guy, fights right now.
And we're having constant stuff with like the trail systems and things like that, where they're trying to shut them down, get them the side by sides.
That's-
But like I said, that's way above our pay grade. And when I say pay grade, I mean an actual pay, because I don't get paid.
None of us.
I want people to understand that. People think like district board, they're like, oh, they're board. I'm a damn volunteer.
My question's really.
And I travel all over.
We're hired.
Yeah,
to-
absolutely. And we have a lot of those same questions when it comes to AMA. Trust me.
Yeah, but we don't see them.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
problem.
No.
I've made phone calls.
Well, I mean, up until this year, probably who you guys saw was Craig, the motocross chairman. You never saw higher members of the board. So we're trying to change that.
Yep. All right, come on up, Dan. You want to go here? You want to?
No, he can go.
Okay. Dan did.
I know a lot of people, especially myself, we're just kind of wondering, like, when people are in lower classes getting spanked.
Sweet. What's the point? So as soon as the AMA instituted the RPV system, which was pushed for by MX Sports and Loretta Lynn's, which is that rider performance value. So now you have people that will work the system to stay in C class so they can go to Loretta Lynn's, because the Loretta Lynn C class championship means everything. So what they'll do is, when they get towards the end of the year and they know their RPV is high, they'll DNF on purpose so they can stay. But what can we go up to somebody and say, your bike didn't really do that? You didn't really crash.
The
I
only
agree.
control the district has is over district class. And same thing if track.
The
they
track
only-
has a track class, yeah.
Track has a track class. Like we can regulate the over D class track level and best sports.
Yeah. So we have certain classes that we have rules for that I can advance. So I do the advancements for 85C and every year. I go through, because the AMA, once again, doesn't actually give rider performance points to those classes because they're combined classes. So I go through everybody on that list every year and calculate their RPV and then send them letters saying they have to move up. But because, so like 85C used to be called 85 beginner. When it was 85 beginner, we had the power as a district. I could watch anybody on the track and say, you're done. After this, today, you can't race 85 beginner anymore. Once it became 85C, which was voted on, voted in by the tracks, now it falls under AMA C rule, which means we have to wait till the end of the year to see what their RPV is. It should have stayed beginner.
And what does that entail?
So your RPV is rider performance value. So what it is it's points. The AMA gives you points, a rider performance point based upon how many entries are in your class and what you finish. So if there's 5 to 12 entries, first place gets like 15 points. If there's over 24 entries, I think, first place gets like 30 or something like that, 28. So if you're a person that races in a class that's always a small number of people, you can race that class for years.
Now C class is the only difference because the first year you race C class
First
is
year is,
13, right?
11.
No, second.
So, yeah, first year if you get a 13 in the C class, it's your first year racing it, you can get booed. Second year, if it's your second year and you get an 11, you can get booed.
But it's only not like at a normal track. That's
No, that's
All
what's
your
in.
tracks combined.
All tracks combined. So all your results.
But if you're
And I'll-
talking-
if you guys ever want to know, like I will send you the AMA Rider Search website, and Anybody can go on there, type in a name, see what they're supposed to race, see what their RPD is. Oh, really? It's open to public. Absolutely.
So that's off AMA's website?
AMA rider search. You can look up anyone. I use it all the time. When I have somebody come up to me as a referee and go, hey,
Sounds like you have to, right?
this person shouldn't be in this class. I'm like, what's their name?
It's just the fact that when somebody's running 4th, 5th,
6th, and then the top 3 are actually 2 seconds faster than the fastest A rider.
Yeah, so in the early, and like I said, you can see the system is broken. Hey, guys, we got microphones going to pick up everything. Can we just keep it to a minimum and talk here, okay? So if you watch Loretta Lynn's, if you look at the pro sport class and then watch the open C class, the kids that are winning that class are running faster lap times than 25th place in pro sport. That's what I mean when I say Loretta Lynn's is broken, the C class. When I was racing, good Lord, when I was racing coming up, I sound like my 13-year-old son. When you were in the C class, all you could do is double. You jumped to triple, you were out, right, Adam?
Yes.
Jump to triple, they advanced you instantly.
There was no points either.
There was no year-end points in C class. That's another issue. There should be no year-end points. I'm on a soapbox right now, but sorry, I shouldn't go with that. But year-end points, letting them jump whatever. I mean, if you're in the C class, you're throwing oppos and stuff over the wall. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing? You're throwing whips. Come on, it's the same thing as running. And I'll be honest,
So why doesn't D14 do that then?
We can't.
Like, no, why?
Because the AMA,
it's the AMA.
They changed it and made the C class.
The AMA's federal.
Loretta's C class was the
State.
money grab.
And honestly though, it's no people abuse it, and it's no different than track classes. Track classes that are not governed by the AMA. How many people do we have around that run wobbler and 50 trail? If you're in wobbler, you're a beginner.
But
Ain't no but.
no, I know there is a but because I disagree. The people that sign people up, and I can speak on that because my kid was one of those kids in the fucking
Yeah, and they'll tell you like.
and I will
this is
tell
it.
you. But the people that sign up, okay, sorry, the people that sign up, that sign you up,
We'll tell you this is your second class.
should not. They should not. They should not.
No, I'm saying like that's what they did. They told you.
I get that, but I'm saying that the people that sign up should know what they are signing up for. My kid was on the little track, and you wouldn't believe how many times a certain bike would run in a points class that was not eligible for that class.
Yeah.
They should be able to tell the person, maybe because they didn't know, but they should be able to tell that person, hey, you have this bike, you cannot run in that class.
But so here's my question with that: when you sign up, when it comes through the window, have you ever been inside and seen the thing? When it comes through the window, all it says is the brand. Those people that sign up have no idea what bike you have other than it's a Cobra.
Well, and I do have to speak on just like a track owner's perspective and whatever. It is your responsibility to know what you're signing up for, and I don't need to comment on anybody.
I completely agree.
And I've been on
but
the
there's
other
some people that don't know that.
Yeah, but when
I've
we're
been on the other end.
yeah, but when we're talking about sign up people, it says Cobra.
Right, and
How do I
trying
know
to
if that's a
push these
P3, a
people.
junior, or a
Right.
senior? I have no idea.
So and I always say that because I've been on the other end where it's
Yeah.
like I'm behind that window and I'm trying to push through sign-ups.
Yeah, and I'm granted,
So-
sometimes sign up people be like, yeah, that's
Right.
your second class.
So I
Go
mean,
ahead.
it is a 50-50. Granted, if you ran it 1 week and then the second week it isn't caught, someone's got to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And I do understand that. And that is situated.
I was just making an example of like how the system gets gamed.
And it
Period.
should be, excuse me, the people at that window should know. If it's a Cobra, they should have that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is it?
You know the quad rules? I'm saying.
No.
I don't know the quad rules.
What I'm
So
saying
if
is,
somebody's sheet comes through and says Cobra, they should ask them what bike they're on.
yes, because if you're in the SS class, you should know that a KTM Mini, a P3 Cobra,
Uh-huh.
and a PW50 are the only ones that can be allowed in that class.
Okay, but here's
Then tell me why on 2 different occasions I have to protest and say, why is that senior, KTM senior, or why is that Cobra Junior?
because
in
their
this
parents
class?
lied when they signed up.
The people at the window.
Well, hold on. How long do you want your lines to be? Do you want to stay on that line till noon?
No.
Because if you have to ask every 50 parent that signs up what bike they're on, you're going to be there till noon.
That's fine, but then a parent should be able to protest.
Protest,
at the
absolutely.
beginning. We should be able to protest at the beginning, not at the end of the race.
And that's exactly
Wait
it.
a minute, hold
That's
on.
exactly it.
Who told you couldn't protest at the beginning?
He was.
I was.
By who?
I was told by Battle Creek. No, the guy that was
and then
running
we
the
came
track.
to you.
Yeah.
Don't even make that.
No, but I'm the rep of Battle Creek, and I will.
Eventually, it came to you.
Yeah, if they told you that,
But
Battle Creek, never.
Okay.
No, I am the referee at Battle Creek.
I'm on the board. Like, don't
They
know.
did finally come
Yeah.
to you, but they said
It was too
sorry.
late.
No matter where you're at, I will give my phone number's on the District 14
And here's
website.
another
And I will give it to every one of you. If you are at a track and they tell you you cannot protest until after the race, you call me.
Great. And granted,
We had that problem.
we protested it and that person got pulled off on the track. Now, what if that kid caused my kid to have an accident and go down?
Absolutely. You're right.
And that kid's not
There's
supposed to be
that.
out
But
there.
You're right. But hold on. Let me put it to you like this. If an unlicensed driver crashes into you on the highway, are you going to blame the cops?
Welcome to Michigan.
No, I'm saying you're going to blame. I'm saying, are you going to blame the cops?
But if we knew beforehand and we tried to stop it,
That
wasn't allowed.
the track was wrong.
And it wasn't
There you
allowed.
go.
Yeah.
Call me.
My only thing to touch on top of that
Yeah.
is I think anybody that's running a gate, if they have a valid point, like
Yeah.
in their
Hold it, call the referee.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
because then you could, instead of that poor kid missing out on his
Right.
moto, right, and then
Get him moved to the right class.
get him to the right class
Yeah.
before the race starts.
Yes.
That way
Exactly.
he can run his own race with his class.
But so yeah, and absolutely, and so to help us with that as tracks, to help us with that, when you bring something like that up, when the other parents are on the line screaming and bitching that the gate hasn't dropped yet, get after them. Let them know, hey, there's a problem, and we're getting it fixed. Shut up. We'll run your moto in 10 minutes. Because that's a lot of times the gate people deal with that. You'll bring an issue, and they're like, hey, I got this. And then they're like, I got 40 people screaming at me. I got to drop the gate.
Right.
Everybody has to have a little bit more patience. Everyone.
Well, and it's a time crunch. Like,
It's always a time crunch.
crunch.
Nobody wants to race till 8 o'clock at night. That's why I said like the sign-up thing. If we ask everybody what bike they're on, we will never get sign-up done. And right now, we'd still be racing.
no, but when there's an issue,
If there's an issue beforehand, absolutely. Bring
should have
it.
been
And
brought
every
to you.
referee, every track, it should be dealt with beforehand.
And it should go on good faith.
Absolutely.
If that parent's not doing it under good faith, then
Absolutely.
there should be something happen there.
We had an incident this morning on the mini track. Did not start because there was a rule vaguety.
Adam called me down there.
I didn't start the moto. Made him come down.
And that is the way it should be.
But you don't get that at every single track.
No.
And you can't expect that from 10 different business
Yeah,
owners.
so that's the other thing I was going to tell you. Like,
you
we are
can't go into 10
the
different Wendy's and
sanctioning, we are
expect
the
the same
sanctioning body,
experience.
but it's just like the payouts and trophies and things like that. These are 11 different businesses. I can't tell them what to pay. I can't tell them what. I give them the rules. This is what you're supposed to follow. Now things like the protest stuff being handled before the race starts. We can, at the meeting this year, we can make that in the district bylaws where it says in motocross, if there is a protest, it must be handled before the moto starts. That's
Now, you as an official, can you go up to or go to AMA and say, hey, can we
Get
try
hold of Mike
to fix
Rakeen
this?
or-
Yeah, I
so that
can-
people are-
We call Mike Rakeen
a lot.
a lot.
Okay.
Not once a weekend, but close.
Yeah. And so, and as a referee, just so you guys understand, like Adam can tell you, as the track referee, as an AMA certified referee, I can stop this whole thing at any time.
Well, I'm saying, like, can you go to the higher, like, try to get things
We,
changed higher
so
up the
Mike
game?
Burkeen is the AMA motocross manager. We talk to him all of the time.
He's actually a great guy.
Yeah.
There's a whole,
But
there's
once
a whole
again,
AMA drug
we're
policy.
trying to get stuff changed for Michigan, so we have to change that at the district level.
Yes.
We still have to make sure
There's
it's
a
in
whole
line
AMA
with the
drug
AMA
policy, and
for the
we,
most part.
like, had
We
an
can have our
incident
own
last year.
supplemental rules.
It was a whole deal.
Yeah, but Mike's not going to change all of the AMA rules just for Michigan. He's got the whole country. We have to do it at a D14 level.
And they can't conflict with
So
the.
that people can start.
We can tell the AMA what's going on, but the chances of them changing it for the whole country are about this big. That's why we have to do it at district level. District level. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this. I want to do more of this so that I can get all the suggestions and let's go.
And legitimate ones. You know?
Yeah, legitimate, not just,
You can
my
fill it
kid
out,
didn't win today.
right,
Yeah.
instead of just emails or whatever. And
So
Yeah.
now you said on the pay, it's all based on.
It's all
each
businesses.
track. Shouldn't it be like the D14
No.
control that?
No, not at all.
like he said, they put the rules out there as they should follow.
So when you go buy a car, I'll use this reference. When you go buy a car, so Chevy is the company that makes all the cars, and they send it out to all these dealerships. What do they give them? Manufacturer's suggested retail price. They sell it for whatever the hell they want. We can tell them, we think you should pay this, but they're an independent business. I cannot tell. That would be like the laundromat telling you what you can sell a gallon of milk for at your convenience store.
But at this rate, and neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But if they're not willing to give $1 more,
Yep.
they're going to lose $80.
So here's
in
what
the
I'll
end.
and here's what I'll tell you, and
Minimum.
this is what we tell everybody: support the places that support you.
But how do we know?
And when we're,
If they don't
Do you
pay
feel-
out to
Do you
you,
feel satisfied coming out of the track
if you don't feel satisfied when you leave that weekend,
overall?
go back.
So okay, beyond that, the end of year banquet.
Yeah,
The money that you're getting for the awards
yeah,
comes from the track.
yeah.
So how do I know
Checks.
if
Better
tracks?
be fucking fucking trophies then.
Hey,
If
this is
Sorry.
if and I don't know.
I'm the
not
same way.
saying
I'm
one way
tamping
or
it down.
another. But if Valley is giving 90 cents and Battle Creek's giving $1.50, how do I know?
every track is giving $1.30 up to 250 riders, and then at 250 riders for their day, it drops to 90. Every track.
Why would it drop? Because that track's making more money.
Exactly.
I mean, I do. Yeah, that is questionable. Why?
That track's making more money. Why in the heck?
So you guys understand on the voting process when it comes to this.
Who voted?
Okay, so the District 14 and AMA does not make the rules in the motocross division.
I guess
Make the rules.
explain that more.
You
The
say that louder. Say that
the
louder.
tracks make the rules. The
Tracks make the
The
rules.
tracks are who votes on the rules, the points money, the classes, everything.
So what you just
So that's
said
great.
was a
So
little
that's
bit of
100%.
greed.
No, it's not us because there's disagreements when it comes to that. Trust me, we're there a lot. There's plenty of disagreements.
So where's the benefit come in that say it drops to 90? However, if you took that and you kept on making $1.50, then say at the end of the year we didn't use all this money. Here's your kickback if there's anything left.
Well, if there was, what we try to
Want better
do.
rewards?
Hell yeah!
We're gonna spend that extra money on the better
Yeah,
I
rewards.
want those fake eggs for breakfast. That's what I
No,
want.
but I'm saying like there wouldn't be like a kickback. It would be like if you give us more, if the tracks give us more money, we're using it. Let's make the banquet better.
Right. Absolutely.
And so just so you guys know, the banquet this year, while it will be at the same place, will be different. It'll be different.
So,
Trust me.
Tracks making the rules, right?
All of them.
Tracks
They
make
have
the
to
rules.
vote. It's majority rule.
They have to agree on the rules too.
Specifically, the allocation for funds towards award banquets,
Yep.
correct?
Yes.
So, question is, how often is that negotiated?
Once a year.
or debated? Once a year.
It actually doesn't come up every year.
No, it doesn't come up every year.
No, but when is it open for negotiation? I guess changes.
Pre-sanction meeting first weekend of November.
Say it again.
Pre-sanction meeting first weekend of November.
For the following year.
You got more?
For the following year.
And is that open?
Which is actually so.
Open to the public or open
Okay, so the way that meeting is public is allowed to come in at the beginning for comment. The votes are closed, obviously, because it's business. But the public is allowed to come in at the beginning and talk.
Do you share that on Facebook?
I don't know if the motocross commission does or not. I know it's District 14. When we have
Meeting, we share. Everybody
That's
knows.
like I think a lot of people are struggling is nothing is made to anyone.
Which is why I'm doing this.
Right. And I appreciate you doing that. But I will, for sure, I will say that a lot of people won't think
How much-
because they're
how much he makes a year?
petrified of Very
All right,
sweet,
read me
being a
some.
bully. Craig Bigelow being a, and I don't mean to throw anybody's names out, but there is 80% of people here that won't say nothing because they're petrified.
But you also have to understand, and I get what you're saying. You have to understand the way it comes across when it's typed.
For sure, but
No, I'm saying like she might snap back for sure. But you guys know, sometimes when you type something online, it feels like we're just getting
Eric
bombarded
James,
from
there's
every
no
angle.
money.
That's why I said
for
from
the
the start.
district
That's why I said
board
from the start of
members.
this. Like, I'm a smart ass, and I swear a lot, but I don't need a bunch of little sidebar bullshit. Like, let's just talk. Let's talk. Most of you that have met me, Tyler's dealt with me, you've dealt with me. Like, I'm very direct. Like, this is what it is.
How many meetings?
You want to have a
But the
month-long meeting?
people that give a shit will
Will
show up. And
That's
make a
true.
comment.
But will they actually show up and do things correctly?
okay.
Or
let's
will
say
they
we
just
don't.
talk? Because we're on a Zoom meeting. It's not even in person. No,
Why is
no.
that
I'm
not
not talking about that.
recorded?
I'm saying like we're on a Zoom meeting.
Why don't you just go?
We do record meetings.
You do, so is
Yeah.
that shared to people?
You just have to request it. It's just like any nonprofit. You request the records, you can see it. It's not. We just don't put it out there. Share it.
So if I request it, am I going to offend Craig Bigelow and Terry Sweet and you? Am I
Craig
going?
Bigelow is not the District 14 president.
So if I
Craig
do
Bigelow
it,
is the
though,
motocross
okay,
division
if I do
chairman.
It, are you going to be offended?
Another common misconception. I love Craig to death. Craig is not the king of District 14. He's the motocross division chairman.
Yes,
So explain to me the breakdown.
I am the
Your
only
job-
motocross person on the District
Okay,
14
so
board.
who's below you?
Brian Kidner is the president. I am the vice president.
And then is there anyone
Of
below you?
D14, not
Of
motocross.
D14, all divisions.
Got it.
Molly Kidner is the secretary and membership coordinator. She's the one who does the cards and does all the secretarial stuff. Terry Sweet is the treasurer. Beyond that, and then there's legislative directors, which is Tom Dunn, who used to be the president.
But Brian Kinder's like actually the president.
Yeah, Brian is the president.
Craig is
I'm the
just
vice president.
motocross.
Yeah. So, and then there's a legislative director, which is Tom. Tom goes to all the Congress stuff, all the legislative stuff, and reports back. And then we have rider reps like Adam. Adam's an off-road rider rep, so that's anything off-road. And then it goes to division chairman. And then division chairmen have their own secretary. They can appoint a vice chair if they want to, things like that, and then they have their own rider reps. But at the district level, the board is only 4 people. Look, the executive board.
Right.
The voting board is like,
Right, more.
the chair, it's like 16 or 18.
Is that 4 people by accident, not accident, but
We were voted
are there
in.
only 4 people, or are there more positions that just aren't filled?
No, all the positions are
Okay.
filled.
How are you
And
voted
fought
in?
for.
We were voted in. We were voted in by the tracks, clubs, and promoters at the sanctioning meeting in December. Yeah, and rider reps and yeah, anything. Yeah, I'm trying to do things differently with the district. Like, what's up, man?
Is the allocation for award banquet?
Jesse, we went through all this.
No, so basically they
But is
earlier.
it similar to other districts, and is that open?
So-
I guess I'm trying
We're gonna
to
post
understand,
it.
see a bunch of feedback about comparing other districts.
Yeah.
You know, get to the bottom line.
Well, so it,
Right.
yeah.
Well, there was that one post that had almost 250 comments.
So was that now? Was that yeah? Was that an AMA series?
Do they have more sponsors?
So was it an AMA series or was it a non-AMA series? Because if it's just a for-profit series,
From
then
my understanding, it was an AMA series.
okay. So you saw those awards, right? Did anybody go through and look at the numbers and go, did they have 37 classes? Did they have 380 awards to give out, or did they have 10 classes?
Well, and from my understanding,
But
we are one
you
of the
also
bigger
have
ones as a district.
3,700 more,
Yeah,
entries,
no, and that's what I'm
right,
saying.
more
So,
money
so we
coming
have to
in.
know the numbers with that. So, are those tracks paying in a lot more?
I was saying we also don't know their kickback.
Yeah, we don't know what the
Exactly.
track's paying out.
We don't know what their points
Right.
fund
I mean,
is.
that is true. We
They
don't
might
know.
be paying $5 a rider, like some other divisions do in District 14.
But so if these tracks cared about their actual riders and what these riders were
I'm not,
getting at the end of the year.
and I get what you. I'm not going to say the tracks don't care about their riders. I can't say that. I'm not going to say.
All the overhead costs.
Yeah, there is a lot of.
Amber, you know what the insurance
So
costs.
Amber has a unique
Yeah,
perspective
I
on
mean,
that.
I can speak that it is a lot.
I mean, how much do you guys spend a year on each rider at the banquet?
I mean, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't know, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. My first place, I
That's a
put
loaded
$160 just into my first place.
Okay.
But
The
that's
district-
question. How
I-
much did it cost you to get to that 10th place to go to the district? You know,
Wait, into the
Well, even to go to their banquet.
oh, I'm scared.
No.
So my banquet, even for you to get into a 10th place, I mean, you're looking at $30 plus 10, so say 40 times 10, $400.
Okay,
Plus fuel, plus
So
camping,
the district,
plus
the
gate
district.
fee.
All right, guys,
Just that series,
guys,
right? You
here,
know, I mean,
here.
You're talking probably 15 grand.
Get this.
For one kid.
Yep.
And their family. No, even yours.
Yeah.
Just fuel, food, everything.
Yeah.
Comes
Travel,
from the track. Every
generator
race,
gas.
You're
or,
looking-
every race.
Fair enough.
15 grand to get that 10th place spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
Yep. And the district, it works out to about $56 a rider
Is what we pay right now
per award
per award.
is what we're getting in.
No, yeah, that's what we're getting in, so that's what we pay.
Okay, but now correct me if I'm wrong. You said it was $50 a plate,
Yeah,
correct?
Doesn't go towards any of the awards. That's
Right,
just
so
to
I'm paying
eat.
$6 for the award. Right?
No.
Didn't they just say $56?
No.
Yeah, $56 from the points fund money.
We get about $56 per rider from the points fund for the year. That's what we get to spend.
Okay.
On
So
all
if we
the
spent
swag.
51 on your dinner, we got $5. What do you want?
Where do you
I can go to
get the
Five Below.
56 from? Is that like what you? Where does the 56 come
So
from?
So
that's-
if we take the number of riders that we give awards out to,
Yep.
what we get from the points when we spend, it breaks down to about
That's- okay.
$56 a rider.
So, do you get money in that sponsorship?
Not much.
Okay. So
And now sponsorship for each division is the job of the division chairman.
as
Or
far as,
whoever
like,
else.
motocross to ATV to
Yep.
hair scrambles
Yep.
to sprint enduro stuff.
There are some divisions that get a lot. I mean, vintage motocross is a very small division, and he does a lot with what he's got because he gets.
Do they promote that? Because
He gets a lot of
I haven't even seen
sponsor.
promotion, you know what I mean?
Have
Like,
you read the old
people
paper?
sponsor.
Did you read the old paper?
What paper?
The old exactly the old newspaper.
To go into on the newspaper? Yeah. And what? Just to go into the newspaper, correct?
No, they promoted all their series in the
Yeah.
newspaper.
Yeah.
every single D14 series goes
Yes.
into the paper.
Yes.
Yes.
But
I'm a
did you
motocross-
notice one was promoted more than the other because they wrote in more? They put
wrote in
more
more.
effort in.
So here's my thing, and I'm a motocross person.
More
I
of a
love
photographer, yes.
Hey, no articles. So here's the thing. I'm a motocross person. I love motocross. I love all the motocross people. You guys want a lot. What are you putting out? Everybody wants like, why are my kid getting coverage in the magazine?
But nobody's requesting.
No.
Like,
Oh no, it's on. I put it on the District 14 Facebook every month. Every month. Here's the Dropbox to submit stuff to the magazine. Here's this. Here's the district YouTube that I run. Yeah, if you look at the AMA District 14 page, I run the social media, the TikTok. No. The parent page is just one Bryce Martinez created. I'm talking about the real AMA District 14 Facebook. I put out an online magazine every month. I put out a Dropbox that you can submit articles to. So if you guys know about the District 14 magazine, who's actually looked through it?
The magazine
Awesome.
itself, I would say a lot more than I do.
It's an online magazine. It's an online magazine. Yeah.
Now, do you guys see all the sponsor banners up there?
Guess where those came from? Quads.
Who?
Quad division.
Oh, really?
That's the quad division sponsors.
Now, who's in charge of trying to find sponsors?
We just went through that. The division chairman.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, division chairmen are in charge of. No, I'm not a division chairman.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm not a division chairman.
That'd be Craig, right?
Craig Bigelow.
Craig would.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're the motocross side of it.
So as people, if we don't agree with Craig Bigelow, how do we move forward with that?
That's something you just have to voice your opinion at the meeting.
I'm voicing it right now, and I know a lot of people will.
I
Well,
I understand that, but
How do
I-
I
hey,
voice it?
let-
I have an issue with
well,
Craig
okay,
Bigelow.
here, but listen, this is what I'm saying. So, I hear you.
For sure.
This is an informal Q&A. This is not going, like, you can voice your, absolute voice it, but it has to be voiced at the actual pre-sanctioned meeting. When you come in for public comment. Be the first weekend of November. I will have the
So,
date
How
soon.
many people do you want me to bring to voice my opinion that I don't like Craig Bigelow? How many? No, I'm serious. What is the next step for us to get progress on Craig Bigelow? What do I need to do?
I understand what you're saying, but we're not going to turn this into a Craig Bigelow bash fest. I
know,
get that.
But I'm saying, okay, I don't like
You have an issue with Craig. I'm saying you need to bring people to the meeting.
It's
It
like
doesn't
that.
need to
There's
go farther.
sponsorships. There's all of these things that people
And
are saying.
and we're talking about that. I'm saying I don't want this to turn into a huge online bash fest. That's what the meeting is for. Come to the meeting. You wouldn't want someone to sit around and bash you.
Where's Craig Bigelow right now? If he knew
He'll
this
be-
was going on, say, like, you're advertising. Where is
He knew what was going on.
Right, that's my
He'll
point.
be here tomorrow.
he? Okay.
I'm not going to make excuses for anybody. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying,
Well,
like,
I will say, I have never heard that there's been a meeting that everybody can go with the first week of November.
I've never heard that.
and you're probably correct. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
but
deny it.
like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people would show up if they knew that their voice was, listened to
Yeah.
when it came to it.
Which is why I'm doing this.
Correct.
I want you guys to understand
But
you
when
have a
it comes
voice.
to as a whole,
Yeah.
the whole district,
Yeah.
I never knew there was one. I thought it was all tracks. I thought it was closed. And I've been fucking racing this issue for 4 fucking years. Sorry.
Again, Mackenzie, we've said it like Tyler. I've said it like 10 times, man. Like 10 times. We've got to keep it clean and professional.
Like this was advertised. This was posted. This was advertised.
And I know there wasn't. Yeah, and like you said, this is still sad. We have a 3,000 motocross. There's 471 entries here today.
So you know there's at least
15.
over 2,000 people in general here.
Yeah.
Probably.
I quit cooking so I can come here.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I mean, my only thing was with to touch on like the advertisement or looking for
Yeah,
sponsors.
yeah, absolutely.
And I hardly know Craig, right? You
Yeah.
know, but if you had somebody maybe a little more willing or just motivated to go out and reach out to people and do that stuff, like Craig's an older guy, you
Yeah.
know, just as my father.
He's been doing it a long time.
But you get stuck in your ways sometimes as an old guy. You know what I mean? Like as far as social medias and reaching out and doing these different things that maybe a younger person and woman, whoever,
But
I don't know, whatever.
Here's the
but
one
like,
thing. Here's the one thing I can say too. If you're going to come to the District 14 meeting, you better be a District 14 member. 'Cause if you're coming to the meeting to bitch and you're not a District 14 member, it's not going to work out real well.
As far as yourself or just your kid?
No, as far as yourself.
Yourself.
I understand it.
I mean, yourself.
So go buy a membership to go to.
Well, no, I'm just like, Yeah.
But you are saying.
I don't race,
Yeah.
but
You
my
are
kid
saying.
is on the
No,
little
if
track.
your kid races, that's what I'm saying. I don't want some yahoo who didn't like Craig from 20, who didn't like, who didn't like anybody. Yeah, I don't want you to just bring in like when you said how many people do I got to bring in?
Well, I only asked
I don't
because
want-
it sounds like there's no process.
No, and I'm not. There's plenty of process, trust me. But like
There may be too much process.
too much process. It's like no, I'm saying like I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't want 40 people that race at Morelands that have never raced a district race in their life to show up at the meeting and be like, we hate Craig. Like it's just not. There's no point.
But you're
Like,
saying they're voted in, right?
yeah, absolutely. By the
So
tracks.
how do we go about moving forward?
By the
If-
tracks.
By the tracks. So you're saying that.
The tracks vote the officers as well.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. So I don't need to bring 50 people. What I need to do is reach out to tracks.
If you want,
express, and have
and this
them
is about
hopefully-
anything. If you want changes within the motocross division, you have to reach out to the tracks and express your opinions.
So they're the ones who vote.
Yes.
Tracks and clubs.
And that's
Tracks
all I
and
was
clubs,
asking.
yep.
Like I wasn't asking, do I need to bring 50
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
I'm
No, I was
asking-
just explaining. Like,
Go ahead.
I think Cadillac did an absolutely outstanding job a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
to try to save the track and,
And you
make
know-
the best track for
Yeah.
everybody that showed up, and it was amazing.
hey, and you want to know the worst? You want to know the worst part of all of that? When he canceled, people were still complaining.
Still mad, and Dan was out there swimming half the morning.
Because
There's some interesting videos on
Because
that.
because I've learned in the last couple years of doing district stuff, you will never make everybody happy.
I have yet to see one tarp on any D14 track other than a
Hey.
Supercross track or something until I went to Cadillac 2
And
weeks ago.
hey, and Dan and I talked on the phone about that, and he's like, I'm like, tarp it, let's do it.
I want a caveat on that, though. I mean, we've only been doing this for now a year and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm new.
Yep.
I don't know from my head from my
But
butt.
fresh eyes
So,
sometimes help a lot.
I get it. But in the year and a half that we've been doing this, Cadillac is the only track I have seen do anything for their little track. Now, this isn't going to do anything for me next year.
No, hey, wait a
Or
minute.
For my kid.
Wait a minute. Now, you guys messaged me at Battle Creek and said, will you scrape behind the starting gate? And I did it.
Fair.
Yes, you did.
Fair.
Yes, you did. And on 2 occasions, it's been
Yes.
Log Road and it's been Battle Creek. Hey, can you guys fix behind? Because you got a 2-inch
And
drop
we do
behind
it.
the gate.
And we do
Let's
it.
fix it, right?
Yeah.
But wait, you can't
Did
say
I-
we because it's you, right? 'Cause you
Well, I
said
tell
did it,
I
right?
tell them to do it.
Okay. But if you're not everywhere.
I run their Facebook too, so like he contacted me and I was like, yeah, go do this.
And
But I think she's saying.
I try to be. You guys know. I try to be as many places as I can.
my point is, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk for the big track because I'm not on it
No.
this year. We'll be next year, so it's not going to matter for me next year. But going forward, these tracks, and I'm sorry, don't give a rat's tootie about that mini track.
The little track is a little bit of an afterthought a lot of times. But
Why? Because
but
you're getting them
okay,
paid,
but listen,
or you get a lot
but
of money.
I know, but listen to this. Be glad you have a little track.
But absolutely.
Go to another state.
Yes.
They don't
we
have
did
them.
that.
Okay. So
They don't
the
have
official-
'em.
The official last year gave us shit right out on that track.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Well,
You're lucky you have a little track.
No, I know.
You be in
No, but
another
I'm just-
state,
yeah.
you
No,
don't
we
have
can't
it.
say that. We can't say that because because they are given the opportunity to have the little track. Correct. But it's not. Oh, well, be lucky you have it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
They pay the same amount of money. What, $5 less for the transponder?
10, yeah.
No,
10.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
Did you see? Hey,
But hey,
Where's the track
but
over
hey,
here?
hey,
You guys pay for it.
yeah, but hey, guys, hey, listen, real quick though. You're talking about an official that is not here anymore.
No, and I get it.
You had an issue. You had an issue on the little track today. What happened?
It got taken care of.
Man, okay, okay.
But that
But
wasn't
you
my
can't, just
point.
like you said, you can't be every place I want.
No, but we're working really hard.
Nobody can be.
Nobody can be right.
My
But
whole point was.
we're working very hard as a district to try to make sure all the referees are trained the same way. Sorry. I was just. You're good. No, sorry. I was just trying to finish.
Track standard is what it's about.
Exactly.
Cadillac has set that bar
Yeah.
for the kids' small track.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
Reorganize, and wherever Charlie is, Charlie should be entering this conversation.
Come on up here. We got some people back here who want to speak. We got a lot of.
One thing really quick, I think James touched on a very key thing that I think is very important as far as you're talking referees and so on, that they're all trained the same
The exact
way.
same.
Like you can't just, okay,
Consistency.
Mark Letzinger called me before the first district race after my protest last year at Big Air towards my son and asked if I wanted to be his AMA referee. And you want to know what I told him? I told him no. Because, well, and she says, my wife, Mackenzie, she said, yeah, I will. She says, but he wanted it now, you know what I mean? She says, well, if there's a class, this, that, like, she says, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
I want to know exactly
but
when,
that's
where,
not
what,
the
and
thing
how, and why.
How people do those things, or the, you know what I'm saying?
There's 2 classes that you have to
Yes,
take
I
to be
know
a
there's
registered
two
referee.
referees,
Touched on
but
it.
I'm saying
But-
everybody
Come on up here.
has to be done the same
Yeah,
way.
but classes to be an AMA referee only get so far.
Yep.
Right? It's real world experience. It's just like being a basketball referee. You can read the rule book all you want, but until you're in a game situation, you don't know what's going on.
Correct. But what I'm saying is everybody should be treated the same. So if you have an issue here, you have an issue at Big Ear, you have an issue at Cadillac, it's all dealt with the same
Do you
way.
You're
guys
right.
go to every McDonald's and get treated the same?
It doesn't matter. We're
No,
not
he's
doing
no,
that
no,
here.
no. But he's but no,
I
but
disagree.
no.
I
Listen, no.
100%
Hey,
disagree.
guys, if you're gonna ask a question, at least let me answer. Like, okay, so what Adam's saying, McDonald's are usually different, separate franchisees, right?
Different managers everywhere.
Different managers and stuff. We have 11 different businesses. We can tell them your AMA referee has to be certified and has to follow the rule book.
Okay, do you really want me to bring this up?
Just wait a
I
second.
dealt with the whole protest at
Where?
Battle Creek.
Yeah.
Okay,
I-
not me specifically.
Yeah,
but
I
my
was.
husband oversaw
Yeah, I was the
saw it.
referee.
Oversaw it.
I was the referee.
Yes. And what did you do?
Follow the rule book.
Bullshit.
What did I not follow?
You called Craig Bigelow and said, I don't know what to do. I'll send in the paper for KMA. And he said, no,
That is
you have
not
to
what
make
I
the
said.
decision.
That is not what I. That is not who I called. I called Mike Burkeen, the AMA
No, you
motocross
called
manager.
Craig Bigelow first.
And then,
Yes, you did, and you literally sent pictures to make a decision. This is what I'm talking about. Everybody should be on the
I
same
sent pictures
page.
of what?
Dude, my kid fight got
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I sent pictures of what to Craig Bigelow?
The parts that were being protested.
Craig Bigelow doesn't even know what size a piston in a 50 is supposed to be. Why would I send him?
but you also did say, James.
I called Mike Burkeen because I hadn't
called
dealt with a
Mike.
financial protest.
You called Mike.
Yep.
You called Craig.
Yep. I called Craig to inform him there was a protest
And
because he's the chairman.
And we got Rob Mitten involved.
Yep. Absolutely. Why
That
not?
is an engine
Why?
builder that
Yeah.
built that engine.
Uh huh.
And you said I can't make a decision without a stock part to look at.
You did not know the rules when it came to that.
I said,
protest.
Mike it. We had mechanics there. When it comes to a referee, the referee makes a decision based on what the mechanic says. I didn't measure the parts. I'm making a decision based on what the mechanic told me. I said, I don't make the call. He tells me, and then I decide. I didn't measure the parts.
You literally look at Mark Nicole and you said, I don't know, so the answer is no.
About what? About his protest?
Correct.
You said I can't exactly
No.
give you a
That-
yes or no on this. So
Is so.
There was no-
Wait. Did Mark? Wait. No. Hold on. Did Mark tell you this? Because
we
I.
filmed the whole thing.
Bro, I had 2 mechanics right there that said they were stock. You saw them say it was stock. You know they did.
I
Never
was
once
kicked
seen
out
it.
of the protest.
I never once seen it.
All
They
right.
s-
All right, hey guys, I got a question from somebody who hasn't got to speak yet, so go ahead.
I have 2 questions. First question is, who determines how many flaggers are each track? With a lot of the tracks, it seems like some tracks have 2 flaggers, some have 4. We have a lot of blind spots on the track, and I just want to know who determines that, or what are the rules for it?
So standard is there. Anytime there is a obstacle with a blind landing or blind spot after it. Anytime wheels leave the ground, there should be a flagger. Anytime wheels leave the ground, anytime there is a blind landing on it, anything like that. But so say like at Battle Creek, for example, or like Cadillac, anytime wheels leave the ground or there's a blind spot, there's a flagger.
So what happens if they don't have sufficient flaggers and there are blind spots?
You absolutely should report it to the referee because the referee should be independent from the track itself.
Because when you come up that back, if somebody crashes the corner, the flagger down there sometimes sees that flagger up here is telling them, hey, put the flag on.
Yeah.
But then you got a bunch of bikes running up, and there's a person down.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're just piling up.
Yeah.
Right there. So because you come kind of up around a corner, they can't see up top.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, anytime there's a blind spot, there should be a flagger, for sure.
So there's
But there
no-
isn't there isn't an AMA standard on where flaggers should be. By AMA, there isn't.
There isn't even a thing on there that says there should be flags except for at the finish line.
What?
In the AMA rule book.
Maybe Tracks should take that to him.
Guidelines based on insurance. There's a lot of, and there's just a lot of common sense where, as a track owner, manager, promoter, whatever you want to call yourself, you know what's going to be a liability for you.
Yeah.
So a track could only have a yellow flag at their flagging stand and not a red cross and or a red flag?
Unfortunately,
So
I don't agree with it. So do I. So do I. And there's been several meetings this year with places about their lack of flags. A lot.
So I have a second question too. So
Yeah.
with flaggers kind of going into it too, is that why are we mixing beginner C riders with some A and B or faster? Like even today we had an accident with 35 plus, 45 plus, but you put non-current in there.
Non-current's an open class, A, B, or C.
I know. And then we have a C rider that
Yeah.
obviously was in one of the classes that something happened.
Yeah.
And he's racing with junior, senior, and those kids are jumping over his head.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have a kid that just started, he's not with us very often, and he's in those classes, how do we know that he's going to be safe?
Yeah, so the biggest, and I don't know if you guys might have missed it earlier. I have a huge issue with the 85C class, like a huge issue.
It's not even C. It's just all
No,
beginners.
but which are on the big track? Which are our beginner classes? 85C is the only one.
Yeah, well, see, you have, like, today, I think.
Junior, senior is an age class. It's not beginner. So 85C is the only beginner small bike class on the big
what
track.
do you say for 50 though?
Right.
50 junior and senior is not a beginner class.
What's a beginner though?
But if
They're on the little track.
So if I'm transitioning my kid to the big track,
Mhm.
what's my beginner class?
You're
If
not.
I'm getting joked over by a senior.
No, but what I'm saying is if you're moving from the little track to the big track, you may be a big track beginner, but you're not a beginner.
Right.
No, but
So-
the point is you have seniors jumping over juniors.
In 85 is what you're talking about, right?
Juniors,
So
50
Oh,
juniors,
okay,
seniors.
yeah.
You have seniors jumping
But your
over.
seniors are laughing your juniors. That's
Yeah.
easy peasy, which is fine. Like honestly, it almost.
And this once again comes back to my point earlier. What I say is that we have too many damn classes. Because if you split up senior, you split up junior, and you split up 85 senior,
Until midnight.
Right.
so we try to put classes together that are at least close to each other. So like 85C, those kids can also race mini open, but they can't race junior and senior. So the only time to put the 85s on the track together without mixing where they can't mix is those classes. Now, I agree. I don't think junior and senior should be out there with C. I also agree that 60% of the kids in the C class shouldn't be in the C class. Let's be honest. Police your own kids. Police yourself. Don't go sign your kid up for the C class if he's too fast for the C class. Why do we have a meeting about kids getting hurt? Yeah, why do we have a meeting when kids have gotten hurt or worse this year because dad wants their son to bring home a first place trophy? Put him in a higher class.
And that's what's hard to see too, from like a promoter standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know how good your kid is. I don't know.
I don't know. You sign
And
up.
truthfully, you might not be a C rider, but I don't know because you signed them up for C. So I mean, I do get it from
Yeah.
the other end.
I mean, if my kid was fast enough that he could place in the top. Oh, sorry, Cass.
That's okay. I've just been
No,
waiting
go
for
ahead.
this particular conversation.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
my son, he got into 85s. He's too small for an 85, but he says last year he gets to race a 65,
Yep.
so we had to get him in there. And yes, he's been racing a few years, but we put him in 85 beginner because 85C because that's the beginner class. He's not comfortable enough in the corners that I want to put him with some of those other kids. We had to move him to 85 junior because at Log Road we went and my son got done and he said, I am not riding in that class anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't feel comfortable. That's not fair to him.
Yeah.
Who is supposed to police that and why is that not being done?
So, like I said, we
Because
had a whole conversation about that earlier. Sorry, but
That's
yeah,
okay,
I'll repeat it.
But
It's
that
not.
whole class, it's coming up again. So obviously,
Yep,
it's an issue.
yep.
But you're saying that people should stop signing their kids up for the wrong class. AMA, we pay AMA to police that, and AMA should be controlling that
Yeah.
and kicking them out faster.
Yep.
If they're jumping jumps over top of people that is unsafe, then that is not okay.
And you're absolutely correct.
And why can't the girls ride with maybe the 85C instead of?
Because a lot of the girls also race 85C. So how can we put those two together?
So they do that.
Yeah.
Because it's struggling to have that 85C class. Then maybe that shouldn't be there. But how do you?
Okay, so you
fix
guys
that?
weren't here earlier for this. So the class used to be called 85 beginner. And we were allowed as the district to police it. I could kick somebody out any time if I thought they were too fast. The tracks voted to change it to 85C. Once it went to 85C, it's now governed by the AMA's C rules. With the AMA's C rules, you can't kick them out till the end of the year.
So they get to finish their year.
Yep.
So could you start a beginner, like an 85 beginner, for to say you voted on it this
Yeah.
year?
So you want another class?
Then we just go back.
I'm just asking. Like, I'm just asking. We have 35 classes. You want another one? Because then 65 wants one too.
Right. Can't you go back
And then
and get rid of the seat?
I want to do that. I got to get the tracks to vote on it.
Well, why?
I
If
want to
you're
do it.
running 85C, you shouldn't be able to run anything else.
So that's the other.
Yeah, you
And
should
I know. I know, but once again, I don't make the rules. The track. Listen, the Loretta's makes the rules, and then the tracks. The tracks look at it and go, well, I got this kid coming in here. If he wants to race 2 classes, I'm not going to shut him out of racing 2 classes. So they say, where else can we put him? We figure junior and senior technically should be the 2 higher skill level classes, so we have mini open for anybody to go ride in. But I agree. I brought that up as well. Dan was at this. He knows. Like, I was one of the ones that was like, 85C should be 85C only. They should race anything else. But then then you have people that are like, well, then you're curbing their advancement. They never gets to race against faster kids. So yeah, the point of mini open is to get them a little bit more track time. But like I said, please, as a district official, please police what you are entering your kids in. Hey, quiet or move away. Okay? Police what you're entering your kids in. If you have a kid who is winning by a large margin every weekend in your class, and it is a C class, and I'm not trying to be a dick, but if you are 25 weeks into the season and you got 20 overall wins, it's time to get little junior out of there. An 85C championship means nothing. Even that's what I'm saying. A C class championship in the grand scheme of things means nothing. Move out. Now, hey, back to this referee thing real quick. You want all referees to be trained mechanics?
No, but I want them
Are
all
you
to be
gonna-
on the same page.
No, listen. But you're talking about measuring, like, I didn't measure the parts. I didn't know what I was doing with measuring the parts.
I'm not saying
So if you want all tracks to have registered mechanics to be able to measure the parts themselves and make the decisions, be prepared for your entry fees to go up because you're going to have to pay
I'm
people.
not saying this. I'm talking about every single referee being
Yeah.
on the same
So how'd the
page
referee handle
without
your
anything going.
how'd the referee handle your protest the next week?
Amazing. He locked my bike up. He followed my kid to the gate. He fucking he did like
All right,
anybody
Mackenzie,
else.
listen, I love you to death, but if you say the F word one more time, you gotta go.
I apologize. He made sure nobody was in
Good.
on the protest. That
Yeah.
wasn't the protestee or the protester.
Okay, so what you're saying is at Battle Creek, when I took the bikes into impound, took them into the clubhouse, and allowed Tyler, who's a mechanic, to come in there, I was wrong. I shouldn't have let Tyler come in there?
He's correct. But he's a licensed mechanic. Did you have a licensed mechanic?
Yes, I had 2 of them. They were
JT Cycle.
the ones that tore the bike down. One used to be a supercross mechanic. But you were a friend of the person protesting, so I allowed you to come in and observe.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Then yes,
I would
correct.
agree. James, I would agree with that, but sorry, Mark Lutzinger, but
I get it.
But Scott Moore handled that from top to bottom.
Yeah. Scott was a good referee. He was good for the powers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He did everything, and it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, not as bad as it sucked for us. It was amazing.
Scott was a good referee.
He handled the whole thing, top to bottom,
Yeah.
top notch, and I hated to see him go as a referee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he could have maybe went somewhere else or more tracks or something, and just done good for the district
Yeah.
itself. You know, but
You're right.
unfortunately, we don't have that opportunity.
Yeah. No, I agree. And you guys have to understand, like I said earlier with the referee thing.
I mean, dude, that's a tough spot.
Yeah, and like I said earlier with the referee thing, like I explained, it's a learning process. It is just like an NFL referee, like, I'm certified, but you're not going to be the greatest until you do a lot. That was, and I'll be honest, that was my very first tear down protest, was McClellan's. And I told Mark, don't do it. Don't let your emotions get hey, anyway.
I'm sure you learn things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure everybody, you know, or whatever, just
Yep.
either just by sense, whatever. And I totally agree with that because you were in a very tough spot. And I think anybody as a referee would be.
And I've been refereeing a long time. That was the first time I ever had anybody want to tear down.
Now you have 18 people breathing down your neck, right?
Well, it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It is.
a
Either
lose-lose.
the person who protested and didn't win is going to be upset, or the person who went, I'm screwed either way.
Yeah. Lose-lose.
But yes, I agree with you, Mackenzie. All the referees should be held to the same standard. Period.
Just as
I agree.
Even if the district itself, minus AMA,
Yeah.
even if the district tracks, the 11 business owners can come together and just have a simple thing of, you know, whether they did their own type of classes or like the district put a little bit into either making a packet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just as like, you want to be a referee?
These are the things you're going to have to do.
Or whatever
Yeah.
it might be. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
I'm not saying you have to be.
Because there's a lot of there's a lot of referees that are on the list on AMA's website, but you never see a track or never heard of them or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, and the other
And that's what I'm
thing.
saying, if you
yeah.
want to become one, I think
Yeah.
there should be a certain guideline that everybody's on the same page. Everything is handled.
And just so you guys know that list, like if you go to a track and there's a referee and you're like, they're not listed, they can choose to not be publicized because they don't want people to call them all the time. Like they don't want to be called to referee, they referee one place.
Okay.
So if you see somebody not on the list, doesn't mean they're not a referee.
Okay.
But they have to renew every 5 years, so sometimes they don't.
Now, are they knowledgeable in all bikes?
No, to be a referee, you take 2 courses. It's about the rules. That's why when it comes to a bike protest, you have to have a licensed mechanic tear it down. I used to build my own bikes, but I'm not going to go and be like, I know exactly what that Cobra 50. No, I have no clue.
You're just a
Yeah,
mediator.
I'm a mediator, exactly. I'm like a mediator in a divorce. It just happens to be about 50s.
And it's a lose-lose.
What's up, man?
I just had a quick question. I think they kind of touched on it with the other classes, but
Yeah.
there's a few tracks that ran 65 open with mini open.
Yes, that was happening earlier this year,
Okay,
and
no more?
we squashed that.
Okay. We will pull out.
No, that was a. I had someone call me from a track and say, "Hey, they're running 65 open and mini open," and I talked to the track. I got a hold of them right then and said, "Change your race order. You're gonna have 7-year-olds and 16-year-olds out there at the same time."
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I think a lot
And
of
so
people
now
don't mind the
you see,
65
if
open
you
race.
guys that have been racing, that don't happen anymore.
What about the regular 65s and 85s?
Depends on the age groups.
Like the 65 open with 85 girls isn't as bad. Yeah. It's. I mean, there are some fast girls.
Yeah,
for sure.
but they're usually
the
safer.
Mini open is like over the top. That's like
Yeah,
sending
absolutely.
85
No, and like I said, on a 65 in the open class, you can be 7, and you could be AMA 15, but 16 years old in mini open. Like it's not. It's those two shouldn't run together.
Right. So if it's not that was my question.
Yeah. Now when it comes to 65s and 85s,
and pull out of one
if it's 10 to 11 65 and 85 junior, which is what 9 to 11, 9 to 12, those two. 85. When? 65 open runs with 85C? I wouldn't run 65s with 85C because it's 7 to 16 again. Yeah, no, I would. That shouldn't be.
I haven't ran into that either yet.
No, but once again, if you start doing
We
the,
run 65 open and we run it with girls.
yeah, and like I said, I agree at times, but like, if, yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the, but once again, and I agree. I wish all the classes could be split up. I do, but do you want to race till midnight? I'm being honest.
No, nobody's. I don't think anyone's trying to like disagree with you. They're just
No,
trying
I'm saying like I don't know what the solution is.
I know, but they haven't had the conversation.
Yeah.
So, like, for instance, you.
Yeah,
play
I'm-
squash,
and I'm
you
just
put
saying-
a squash to something that no one knows
Yeah.
how to squash to.
Yeah.
Though we've all, but I know, I race every weekend, so I've been racing, and I didn't know you put a squash to anything. I thought that track just didn't decide that day to do that. Does that make sense? So that we could be like, yay, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I look at that,
So
but I'm not
would
looking for a pat on the back. I just,
no,
you know, it's.
No, I just, for us as a
Yeah,
community,
no, I get that.
it's good to know what decisions
Yeah.
you make,
benefit of
because
the
then
85
people
girls
understand
is
what you're
it's a
doing.
smaller class normally. There's
Yeah.
only a
And
handful
can
of them, so
appreciate
they can
it.
get around.
So
It seems like when I run those two together, it's when they're smaller classes. So it's
Probably.
like 12 in each class.
And like I said, I'm not trying to be a jerk about like the timing thing. I'm just saying like, if we ran a separate moto for every 65 class, every 85 class, every 50 class, you'd never get done.
Or you're gonna cut laps, and you're still gonna be mad.
We're gonna cut laps, and then you're pissed.
To me, safety is number one, so we're being
But it's not safe to race right now. Is it safe to go ride right now at this time? Well, exactly. You cannot race right now. So then do I say, okay, we're going to finish the rest of the second motos tomorrow, and then we'll start the other first motos, and then we're here till 10 o'clock. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying, like, time-wise, it's impossible. Yeah, like, you would literally, like, if we, and I'll be honest, there's going to be some vet guys pissed off about this. We need less vet classes. There's too many vet classes, and that's why we don't need 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
But I do have to say, though, honestly, if they're low numbers anyway, you're running them together.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that would change.
But the other thing is, like, certain vet classes are sometimes your biggest class. So the tracks aren't going to want to get rid of the, biggest thing. And, what's up, Shane?
Going the amount of laps, and right now we can't race at night or even at sunset. How come during the peak summertime we can't start earlier than 9? I know some is going to be.
Yeah. So, but a lot of times that's a special permit. You got to remember, like with these local tracks, you got your local township. Maybe they.
I can't fire bikes up from 9 to 9. Okay.
From 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., he cannot have bikes running. So, like, like Big Air. Big Air used to, like, they couldn't hold a race after October 1st or whatever. Like, there's township restrictions with everything. So, if you wanted to start earlier than 9 o'clock, then you got to start sign up at 5. Who the hell wants to do that? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But yeah, like a lot of townships and things like that, they won't let them.
Okay.
A lot of places have a quiet time after 7.
It's not a district.
No, that's not a district rule. Okay. What's up?
I don't know if you guys touched on this or not.
I'll get you. Trust me.
Is that Cadillac state race getting rescheduled or not?
Yes.
It is.
As of right now, yes.
Okay.
So I'll enlighten you guys about the rule with that, which is something I don't agree with. Once again, voted in. If a track state race gets rained out, they have the opportunity to schedule it on their next scheduled race.
As their track.
The next scheduled race weekend. So because that was Cadillac's last state weekend, the red line to that rule is we reserve one weekend at the end of the season. You can move it to that weekend. But the issue is, if another track between now and then also gets their state race rained out, also gets, now we put their names into a hat and draw one out. One of them gets the race.
That's how you guys decipher that?
Yeah. Okay.
Back to the flag issue, because if you can't, like, if you can't make parents feel safer by not combining certain classes differently or making new classes or whatnot, and that would be the issue. It sounds to me like the solution may be to ask, like, how do you go about changing those regulations? Because we sign our whole liability away, and we should trust that the tracks are going to keep our kids safe to an extent. Yeah. So, to that extent, what is the next step to, like, try to suggest that to someone who matters and can say something in an actual.
So I think the biggest thing is we need to set guidelines as a district for where we would have to work towards setting guidelines as a district as to where flaggers need to be on the tracks.
I think that's really important, and I'm just saying.
I just follow the rule of if it's blind, if their wheels leave the ground, there's got to be a flag.
I understand that.
But it should be a standard.
I think that the standard's important.
That's what I said. Or blind.
Or the
but at the same time, like, if it's a wide open straightaway and it's bumpy, if a kid falls and your kid runs into him from 50 feet away, tell him to look forward. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but, like, if it's a straightaway and a kid falls and then gets hit by another kid in a straightaway, from all this time, like, get your eyes off your front fender.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Look ahead.
But the problem, though, isn't.
We can't put flaggers every 50 feet on the track, though.
I get that.
Because then you're going to pay $60 to race. Because they got to pay all these flaggers. If we put a flagger every 50 feet, it's impossible.
Yes, but I think that I would feel more assured if I knew
get
there
that.
was a standard.
You know what else would make me feel safer? If all of your parents stopped running on the track every time a kid fell.
Yeah, a parent got hit.
A parent got hit today. A parent also fell into the track almost in front of a racer.
So correct me if I'm wrong. From my understanding, I thought you couldn't be out there 65 and plus.
Oh, 50 and over. Honestly, go to a national.
So then why do tracks let them be out there?
Because if we don't let you be out there, we have to deal with mobs. that scream and yell at us for not. I'm not. I'm saying, if your kid tips over in a corner, it's not a safety issue. And if a kid tipped over at the finish line, tipped over, and the dad ran onto the track, a tip over. That's a safety issue on his part, not ours. Your kid tipped over.
What if I see my
If your child is trapped under the bike, run out there. I'm good with it. Go.
That's what I was gonna say.
Trapped under the bike, go.
If you feel that your child is in danger enough for you to be willing to disqualify him, sure. go help your
Absolutely.
kid.
But if
That
they
is
tip
the
over in a
process going
corner,
on the track.
but if they tip over in a corner, yeah. If they tip over in a corner, stay where you're at. Let them learn.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. That from my understanding, from my survey thing, 50s, I've always been able to go out there.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, 65 and up, deal with it. Unless,
And-
no, you're saying if your kid was seriously hurt, I get that.
Go ahead.
But if it, just like you said, but if it was a little simple tip over or a little mistake or whatever, you're right. You shouldn't be out there.
I mean, you guys know how it is. When the start gate drops, it's the mini parent Olympics. Run. You know how many 50 parents I've seen fall down this hill just trying to get to the track? And like that's what I'm just saying. Yeah. No, yeah, because they run out there just to scream at Junior to go faster.
I understand, but
Like-
it starts with their over concern, and then it ends up being about.
But what about people that have never been to a track before and they just start running out there? They don't know they even have a concern. They're still running out there. What?
So I do have a question.
Hey, guys!
I have lots of questions, but I do want to know why you go with trackside. Because if it is $10 per rider, that is a ripoff. And I've offered Race Ready. I don't know why you guys are so against it. I run it. I'm asking you guys to at least hear the opportunity.
We ran it at Battle
is
Creek.
$5, but that was one track. Why not try here? Why not? Why hassle people?
Because it-
trying?
And it sucked.
Right, but I can tell you though, Big
Your
Air.
track, we have not.
Right.
Big Airs?
Because, yeah, and the reason why you don't have issues is because it's not put into trackside. So the results from Race Ready have to be converted to trackside
But
per
if-
AMA.
Right, but if you meet Greg runs over 600 AMA races.
I had a meeting with Mark Lutzinger, Greg, and his other
I know,
partner.
but I'm telling you, they run 600 AMA other tracks.
600 tracks?
They run 600
There's-
like events.
I'm like, there's not 600 tracks in the AMA in the country, but
There's
okay.
like 600 events, whatever
Yeah,
ones are
yeah.
AMA. So I know there are other AMA tracks.
I've talked to
that
some of
are
those AMA
converted.
tracks, and they said they hate Race Ready.
Really?
I'm being honest. It's not as user friendly. The live timing is really not that good. I'm being honest. It's not.
Okay.
You're having it's not just
No,
me.
it's fine.
I'm at Battle Creek. I brought it in. We brought it in, and it did not work well.
You mean like?
It didn't work well live timing, like the app.
So why are you okay though spending $10? That's a ripoff.
Why is it a ripoff?
That own their own transponders. Right.
Okay.
But what? Hey! Well, yeah. Let's say. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. That is not District 14.
You're gonna leave right
No,
now.
no, but listen. Hey.
He's right here.
No, okay. Listen. That is not District 14. We don't tell the tracks who to use. They choose what businesses to bring in. You can't. That question, I can't answer that. That's on the tracks. That's not district. No. Now listen. This is a District 14 Q&A. If you have a question and answer about tracks and what scoring system they use, direct them to the track.
So you're
Not to
saying
me.
that the district does not.
We do not tell what tracks what to use. Why do you think Big Air was running Race Ready?
They got a lot of hassle for it. And
They got hassle because it sucked. And I'll be honest, they got hassle because all the results were crap. It wasn't because they used it.
Well, and then they went off from manual. They go off from manual versus what Race
Yeah.
Ready said when Race Ready was correct.
Yeah.
Why are you going off manual when you're having?
Yeah, so that's not the district. If a track came to me tomorrow and said, I just want a hand score, okay. I can't tell them what to do. Yeah.
But a sticker on your visor when it falls off, or you lean forward if your kid knows that. Like this, that, whatever. My fork tube does not fall off during a moto. Like it's mounted, everybody's is mounted in the same exact spot. My kid's helmet is custom painted. The sticker does not stick under there, so we run it under behind the front number plate for Race Ready. And it's tomato. It's kind of goofy. my
Yeah.
fork tube doesn't fall off. Like,
And my laps,
Fine, like, that's
yeah,
fine. If
and
you're
and
not
my laps
paying
is just
more, like that's fine. Like, and that I'm totally open to hearing it. I just think from a perspective, it's charging people $10.
I get that,
But
you know, and I was mad about that at the same time.
But you know your
It's like,
scoring's correct.
You bring,
Well, not always.
Well, pretty
Not
much,
always.
pretty much.
But then you have cameras and you can
Yeah.
watch it if there's an
Yeah.
issue. And
Dan brings in cameras,
if
everything
there
else.
is an issue, I feel like Dan has done a great job.
But
Hey, look, I'll watch the
once again,
conference and I will.
hey, but once again, not a district thing.
Correct.
Not a district thing. I got nothing to do with that. I love Dan to death, whether he has transponders or not.
So now I understand it's track discretion because they pay the flaggers.
Hmm?
Why can't there be like a class or something that these flaggers have to do
Yeah, so they're
to keep your kids safe? Because I can walk up here and I can know nothing about this goddamn sport. So I apologize. Nothing about this sport, and I can. But you know what I mean? I can pay. Anybody can walk up in here and say, "Hey, I want a flag."
So-
and you're gonna pay them, and they're gonna go out there, and they cannot know anything about anything.
as far that's one I hate. As far as I know, to my best knowledge, every track is required to have their flaggers watch the flagger instructional video before they do anything.
Exactly, but to your
Oh.
knowledge. So, but why is it that?
I can say there was there was a big incident at Twisted where there was a flagger that was literally asleep on the hill, and they just were like head down and everything, and
I
there was a
understand.
huge
Yeah,
crash, and they did nothing.
I've been around motocross tracks. I've seen it.
So why something as a district are we not doing something about it?
Well, I think everybody can agree there's two tracks that have flagging issues: Twisted and Big Air.
Everybody was screaming at that.
So, well, yeah, but
I mean, like as the worst, like.
so, but here's once again what I can say. Once again, what I can say is 11 separate businesses. I give them guidelines. I can't force them to do anything. I say you need flaggers. You would hope that they would want to keep people as safe as possible.
Now you do have like repercussions. I mean, like there's penalties.
Yes,
You could.
there is.
I was going to say, at
So
what
are you
There is.
buying them, or when do you buy them?
It's coming.
Yeah, I know.
I
know,
this is why I think everyone knows these are issues, and you know their issues.
But
We
nothing's
all
been
want
done
to know
about
why nothing's been done, or it seems to
Or,
these people
I mean,
that nothing's
what,
been
how
done.
many incidences are it's going to take?
A lot of stuff without AMA and AMA.
Well, and you also have to understand when you start talking about stuff like that and personal things with businesses, I can't just put everything out. There's legal ramifications to that. I can't just put every conversation we have with them out.
I get.
Especially when certain people talk about their lawyers all the time. I can't do that. I can't. So yes, there's a lot of discussions going on.
But I guess at what point, how many serious injuries, deaths, at what point is something going to change?
Yeah, no,
Is somebody going to make something?
I agree totally. How many people have died at Baja? They're still holding races.
But they're also not AMA.
Yes, they are. They're not District 14. They're AMA. They have national events. What I'm saying is I understand that yes, sometimes there's a lot of times where accidents are avoidable. Absolutely, and flaggers should be better. But we also have to understand that every accident that happens is not the track's fault. It's not always the track's fault. As motocross riders, we take our lives in our hands every time we throw a leg over a bike. It's not always the track's fault. I know sometimes it feels good to have somewhere to point a finger. And there are instances that I absolutely will agree it's the track's fault. It's the flagger's fault, whatever. But sometimes things happen. All I can stress to everybody is call me, please. I want to take care of problems. I talk to Dan and I talk all the time. Aaron, I've been to flat track race daily. Dan, they can tell you I want to take care of issues. Call me. Please don't just run to social media and go all keyboard warrior. Call me. Call me. Tell me. Because if you call me and tell me I have a serious issue, you know the first thing I'm going to do when I get off the phone with you? I'm going to call that track owner and go, what the hell? Don't let things sit. Let me know. I don't want it to be like we got to wait until I go, hey, let's have a meeting. No, call me anytime. I always answer my phone. You've called me about how many things, and I've always answered my phone.
But I have a question. At Redbud, if they come from out of state, they do not have to pay the D14 fees, correct?
No.
So why do we have? I mean, I'm just asking as. Like, they don't pay to be D14. They're not. So, that's what we wanted to know.
So here's. So, tracks are required to pay into the points fund for District 14 racers. Now, most of our tracks require everyone who races there to have a District 14 membership. Some of them have a larger customer base that is far outside of Michigan, so they don't always require people to have a District 14 membership. Now, their District 14 points, they don't get put in their points get removed. So they don't get the points. But yes, they don't.
How does that work for placement for our D14 riders?
So there's two schools of thought on that. Okay? There are some people that think that the results should be left the same for the day, because those riders were there. That's what place they got. And then pull those people out of the year-end standings.
I can agree with that.
Me personally, I think if they're not a district rider, they shouldn't be in the points at all.
I completely agree. I agree with that.
But at the same time,
$15.
yeah, but at the same time, if your kid got fifth that day, but there was 3 Indiana riders in front of them, and then all of a sudden they got second, they didn't get second. So they got second place points, but they didn't really get second. So then if somebody's racing at Redbud,
Riders aren't paying.
I know, but if somebody's racing, I'm talking about it from a point standpoint.
They pay for the race.
So if there's a kid, yeah.
I pay to race there, but I do not pay for District 12.
Yeah. So if there's a kid that's racing at Redbud on the same weekend that there's a kid racing at Portland, okay? So the kid at Portland got 5th with all district riders. Kid at Redbud got 5th too. But because those riders weren't district, now you want me to put them in second place? That person at Portland's would be pissed.
Right.
So that's why we leave the results the way they are and just pull them out of the points at the end of the year. If you move up spots, you move up spots.
I'm okay with it. I mean, the only thing you're missing out is junior might not get a plaque. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, that's why we have 46 classes. So everybody can get a plaque. What's up?
2 questions.
Yep.
One, no matter what tackle is going to be, when we have area qualifiers up here for Loretta's, why is it we have to run District 14? And my second question is, have we or you guys thought about trying to implement somewhere where we can get 15-minute moto classes?
So the way for us to get longer motos is to less classes.
Correct.
Which has been a fight for years.
What if we did...
Because there's 2 ends of the spectrum. There's you guys that want the longer motos.
Correct.
And you want less classes. And then there's Lil Ricky's mom who wants to make sure he gets a trophy every weekend. Because that's what the world. Because that's what the world's about now is participation trophies.
Correct. So then my next question with that.
So you go to split programs,
Well,
or have you been to a split program this year?
Well, so we have 65 open, 65 age group, 85 open,
Yep.
85 age groups. Run one Saturday, the other one Sunday, and then we can also do the same with the ABC
Yep.
and the vet classes.
Yeah.
That would help implement the township ordinance for
Yeah.
hours. To be
So
able
you're
to
saying
get
basically race little bikes one day, big bikes the next day?
No, both and both. So you split, say for example, 85 junior run Saturday, mini open run Sunday.
Okay, I get what
Same
you're
with
saying.
65.
Yeah.
Age groups, all age groups on one day.
Yeah.
Open classes the next.
No, I get that totally.
Same thing with the vet classes. You could do with the vet classes.
So what I can say with that is, I actually think it's a really good idea. So you guys know every year when we put that thing out
Correct.
before
I
the
have
meeting.
3. I have.
Okay.
I've done it.
Put your name on it.
I don't put my name on it though. So the other question was the Loretta Lynn's and
Yeah.
District 14. Why is it not possible to run just Loretta's qualifiers?
So honestly, it's a track decision.
Okay.
It's not a district decision. Like say Baja. When Baja runs the qualifier, they just run the qualifier classes.
Correct.
If you as a track wants to just run the qualifier classes, great. I think a lot of tracks see it as like, then they're only going to get like 150 riders. Only the ones that want to qualify for Loretta's, and then they lose money on the day. So they run the district classes to bring in more numbers. Now granted, I agree, it's a logistical nightmare.
Correct.
Because then you're trying to remove Loretta's classes from this and the points, it's a mess. For weeks after a Loretta's qualifier, we're sorting through points. Weeks. So I agree.
Okay.
And Adam and I have talked about that a few times. Like If it's a qualifier, it's a qualifier.
I agree, and it's a nightmare for us on.
Yeah, because it goes from there being 36 classes to being 56 classes.
Yes.
And then you're running a qualifier class with a district class with another qualifier class. I agree. Yeah. This is all stuff that's going to be brought up at the meeting. Trust me. Like that's one of the reasons I'm doing. Like I want to hear this stuff so I can bring it up.
So are you going to remember the
Split program? I got you. Shane, I'm smarter than that. Oh, you got a question.
So with that, I think that's a good one to end on if you want.
Oh, yeah,
Is there somewhere where people can still pose further questions?
Text me and call me. My number's on the district website, and my email is too.
Cool.
What? 269-243-0183. It's on the District 14 website. Email me. The email is vicepresident@ama-district14.org. I will answer everything. I don't ignore anything.
I do agree. I mean, it is very easy to find everybody that's on the board, their phone number, their email.
Well, and that's why, like, with the comments on the District 14 parents thing when I posted this, and people are like, oh, we're at Baja. Call me. I get it. But I also disagree that the vast majority of District 14 is at Baja. There was 900 entries here between the last 2 days. That's the vast majority of D14. It's not at Baja.
See, and I'm going to go back to the whole what D14 gets. That's a bunch of malarkey that y'all only get not 90 cents per entry after 250. You're under $900 for 2 stinking days. So what you're telling me is these tracks don't want these riders to be acknowledged at a better.
I think part of the issue is it's not necessarily that. I mean, maybe for some places. I know that I can speak for certain places that I know care a lot. They do a lot. They do things like movie night. They do things like there's a lot of places that do a lot of stuff. Part of the issue is and a lot of people can attest. I don't know where the hell Adam went. Little shit disappeared. Oh, he's doing the movie. Okay, so for you guys that raced and stuff years like 5-6 years ago, the banquet was better. The awards were better. Everything was better. I think we all can agree the country itself's been on a bit of a downturn in the last few years. Everything is more expensive. Everything sucks. So the prices of everything else has went up, including your race fees. It's time for the prices of other things to go up.
So are you a nonprofit?
Yes.
What type of
501c7, not C3.
501c7.
So that tax return that you posted on the District 14 page, the parents page.
So that is correct.
That is correct. But let me explain to you what this 319,000 assets is. It wasn't even. So we have a certain amount of, we have an investment account that the old board started like 10 years ago. Okay. That they have set aside. We don't even touch it. It sits in a money market thing. It sits there just in case of anything. Anything. I mean, who knows what happens? Somebody gets in a crash, they want to sue everybody. We have a certain amount of money that sits there, never gets touched, okay? Now, the $217,000 that was revenue, that is what is all of the points money from every division comes into the bank accounts and then goes back out. So because all the division bank accounts are run under the umbrella of the D14, we have to claim all that.
So that's a D14, all divisions.
All divisions, not motocross, all divisions. And so the banquet thing on there, that's just the motocross banquet. The hair scramble banquet costs just as much, and this other one costs like.
But your tax back, you can see where that's confusing because you're saying 57,000 motocross.
Yeah, that was.
And then you got 7,000 awards. Whatever is online.
7,000 wasn't the actual awards. That was like
the
straps
there, you can
and
see
shit.
where it is concerns for everyone. It isn't.
I mean, I guess if you don't know,
right,
but now that you know that is all divisions, not just motocross.
Right.
It's everybody. So the District 14, the only revenue District 14 brings in is the membership fees. $15 a rider.
They sound.
Yes, and so like the investment account. Mm-hmm. The investment account we have was at a certain point at December 31st. We got a new CPA last year. They never used a CPA before. District taxes have been a mess. So they said, whatever you were at December 31st, 2023, make sure it stays at that. Because you don't want to show profit. You're a nonprofit. You're a 501c7. So as a district board, we voted that whatever we make this year in investment, we take it back to that number at December 31st. We take the rest of that money and it goes to the divisions. Have better banquets, do better awards, and we're going to continue doing that. I don't know if most of you know, we went from the written newspaper to the online magazine. I saw somebody comment about this, $11,000 for an online magazine. That's less than $1,000 a month. We spent $43,000 on the newspaper the last year we had it. $11,000 is a deal. So $43,000, which is another thing. We gave out money to divisions last year because we made that extra money, not having the newspaper. We are, as a district board, we are just doling it out, like literally. Take it, please.
Probably important to state too that the district has made major changes in the last couple of years.
Major. So that's another thing. You guys know our website sucks. The District 14 website in general. The member clicks thing, it all sucks. Right now, we spent $22,000 as a district for a whole new proprietary. We own the website. It is all new. All the renewals will be auto renew. You'll be able to auto renew on there. Everything. You'll be able to post pictures in the news part. Everything is going to be all new. For new people that come to the district, there'll be outlines of the tracks. Everything's going to be new. The membership system's new. All of it.
In 2025?
It will actually be out probably October. It's in process right now because that old antiquated member clicks website cost us about $12,000 a year. $12,000 a year for that website. This website is going to cost us $22,000 to build,
Paid off in 2 years.
and it will only cost us $1,200 a year to run.
So in 2 years you mean?
So I know that a lot of people don't know because it goes on at board, but like the board in the last 2 years since it's switched over, we have made a ton of changes with stuff. But it's just sometimes it's just like when you get a new president in. Sometimes it takes a year or two for shit to change. That's where it's at. I guarantee you, when you go to the motocross banquet this year, you will see a change.
Yeah.
James.
My kid races a championship, whatever's won.
Yep.
So why do I have to pay for my kid's awards when he earned them and we paid?
You don't pay for your awards.
Well, I
You
can't
pay for
get
the
'em-
food.
Well, I can't get them for free. What if I don't want to go to the banquet? I want to.
Yeah, see, you shouldn't have to pay shipping for that. That's horseshit.
Well, she said I have to pay for it.
I'm agreeing.
So that's only. I'm
agreeing.
not complaining
Yeah.
about. I ain't
No.
kind of complaining about it, but
I'm
my
agreeing.
kid races and earns that.
Yeah.
He should get all of his stuff.
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Shipped to my house.
Totally
or
agree.
at a place that I can pick it up for. I'm fine with that.
Remember all this stuff, James?
I actually.
I don't know.
No, just wait. No, hold on. Yeah. Hey, let Dan answer.
That's just
James
something I'm
does
gonna-
not forget.
Anything.
Anything.
Thank you. That's all I
I
want.
got you. You won't pay.
James, before you
What's that?
My husband did
Paying
ask,
for the banquet tickets
Yeah,
for the
so-
kids. So like,
yeah.
I would be fine paying a little bit more for my son, but
can we just come to the banquet side of it, not the food?
Mackenzie?
Just so you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so go ahead.
so like, why do I have to pay for my kid earn that
Yeah.
award and everything? Why do I have to pay for a banquet ticket
Okay.
for him when he earned that? Like, I'm fine paying
Yeah.
for all of us, but I don't feel that we should have to pay for our kid to
So-
go there because he worked hard all year to earn that and go there.
So, like I said, you may not have been here earlier when I talked about the
Oh,
banquet
okay.
thing. Yeah. So it's no, it's fine. No, yeah, I'll repeat it. Like, so basically, all the money that we bring in goes like if we said food tickets are free, there'd be no awards.
Yeah, but what if the adults pay for their food tickets? and
So then we
not-
still have to cover all the riders.
Took that $43,000 for a newspaper. And
But that's District 14, not motocross. That's all of it.
There's a lot of money that's going.
That's
around.
District 14. Huh?
Yeah, just figure it out and just let us know.
Bro, I'd rather get a pole barn and pizzas. Like, I'm just, hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But hey,
Just the ceremony and not food.
yeah, you don't have to have food. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all of these suggestions are stuff that, when that form comes out, where it's like Rider of the Year, Parent of the Year, say that. Say, we don't want food.
We don't have to, or some people pay for food and they get the wristband or they don't.
We literally read, we read every one of those suggestions when they come in, legitimately. So put
That
this
is
stuff.
very good to know because I will
Put
say
this
that
stuff
there
down.
has been a lot of times that I'm like, these motherfuckers. Oh.
I read every. But hey, guys, real quick, we do need to wrap it up. It's getting late, but thank every one of you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope I was able to at least help a little bit with some of your stuff. Like, I'm trying.
No, I do want to speak on everything. We appreciate you. Like, we really do.
I think you did great, James.
Thank you for offering
Maybe
this.
going forward, like next year, like towards the beginning and towards the end, like two of these, so that we can kind of.
I'm gonna do one at the flat track race in a couple weeks. What's that? Yeah, well, the Baja crowd doesn't really race much District 14. Like, so listen, guys, be on the lookout for a weekly D14 podcast that's going to be coming up, where you will get everything. You'll be able to call in. We're gonna interview racers. We're gonna interview old people, all that. Okay. Yes. So when you're driving somewhere to the track on Friday, you're like, hey, the Wednesday podcast was on. Throw it on Spotify and listen to it. And that way it's not a once monthly thing where it's like, oh, those races happened 30 days ago. On Wednesday, it'll be like, hey, this is what happened over the weekend. This is what's coming up.
I think you should do this twice a year. Once at the beginning to get all those winter questions out.
Bro, I'll do a Q&A at every motocross track I go to. I don't care.
Hey guys, Don's been holding the microphone for everybody, and thank you for donating your microphones because mine died.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don.
I just wanted to say I personally appreciate seeing you at all. D14 has not been around, let alone faces to be here to even talk to us. So thank you.
I appreciate it, but I don't.
For holding this and being here and doing your part.
You and the mob, you did good.
Yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Seriously, District 14 ain't shit without the riders. I mean, that's it. Like
that's why I do what I do.
Exactly.
I love what you guys are doing. I've seen him at almost every track. I've seen the president at 10 Pines.
We're both at 10 Pines. Yeah.
Yes. My husband saw you, but yes, that stuff was seeing your faces.
And branch out, please. Branch out. Go to a different type of race. I hadn't been to a flat track race in like 20 years. I went to one a couple weeks ago at Lucky Thumb. Coolest shit ever. They're at 70 miles an hour backing into a corner. They're this far from each other. The P-dubs coming out of turn 4, feet on the pegs, just pin. Branch out. Go see different stuff. It's cool. Like, it really is.
Hey, Dan, what about that GP race you got, buddy? Coming up.
All right, thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. Seriously. Don't be afraid to call me. And if you see me in the track, I know I look like an asshole, but just come talk to me. Like, seriously.